Shirley Temple was one of Hollywood's most cherished child stars, capturing hearts worldwide with her golden curls, dimples, and undeniable talent. During the Great Depression, her films brought joy to audiences who desperately needed hope, making her a box office sensation. Her charm, innocence, and ability to light up the screen made her a national treasure. However, behind the dazzling lights and charming performances, Temple's life was far from the fairy tale that Hollywood painted. The heartbreaking truth about her experiences in the industry reveals a darker side of fame that few knew about. From the moment Shirley Temple entered Hollywood at the age of 3, her childhood was no longer her own. Studios recognized her as a financial goldmine and pushed her through relentless work schedules that would be considered unethical today. While most children were playing and learning, Temple was memorizing scripts, rehearsing dance numbers, and performing under intense pressure. She worked exhausting hours, sometimes 6 days a week, enduring physically and emotionally demanding conditions. Rather than being treated as a child, she was seen as a product, a tiny star with an enormous responsibility to carry entire film productions on her back. Any sign of exhaustion or disobedience was met with strict discipline, ensuring that she remained the perfect little star the world expected her to be. One of the darkest aspects of her Hollywood experience was the control that studio executives had over her life. Temple's image was carefully manufactured to maintain her wholesome, innocent persona. Her curls were styled perfectly, her costumes were meticulously chosen, and her every move was monitored to ensure that she lived up to the idealized version of childhood Hollywood had created for her. However, behind closed doors, the industry was far from innocent. In her autobiography, she revealed disturbing encounters with powerful men in Hollywood. One of the most shocking incidents involved a well-known producer exposing himself to her when she was only 12 years old. Too young to understand, she laughed nervously, which inadvertently diffused the situation. However, such encounters were a grim reminder of the predatory nature of Hollywood at the time, where young actors were often placed in vulnerable positions with little protection. Despite being one of the highest-paid actresses of the 1930s, Shirley Temple did not receive the financial security she rightfully earned. Like many child stars of that era, her earnings were grossly mismanaged. While she had made millions at the peak of her career, she later discovered that a significant portion of her fortune had been lost due to poor financial decisions by her family and advisors. By the time she retired from acting at just 22, she was left with only a small fraction of her original wealth. The financial exploitation of child actors was common in Hollywood, and Temple was no exception. As she grew older, Temple faced the inevitable challenge that many child stars encounter: the struggle to transition into adult roles. The public had adored her as a little girl, but they were not as receptive to her as a young woman. Offers for mature roles were scarce, and despite her efforts to redefine herself as an actress, audiences still saw her as the curly-haired child from the silver screen. Realizing that Hollywood no longer had a place for her, she made the difficult decision to leave the industry. Rather than fading into obscurity, however, Temple reinvented herself. She dedicated her later years to public service, becoming a U.S. diplomat and serving as an ambassador to Ghana and Czechoslovakia. She used her fame and influence to advocate for important causes, proving that she was much more than just a child star. She was a woman of strength, intelligence, and resilience. In 1972, she made history as one of the first celebrities to openly discuss her battle with breast cancer, using her platform to encourage women to seek medical care and early detection. Shirley Temple's story is one of both sorrow and triumph. While Hollywood took away her childhood, exploited her talents, and mistreated her, she managed to rise above it all. The heartbreaking truth is that behind the adorable girl America fell in love with was a child who endured pressures and challenges no child should face. Yet, despite the difficulties, she carved out a meaningful life beyond Hollywood, leaving behind a legacy that went far beyond the silver screen.